Hey everyone, I'm a professional software engineer. I've been working in the industry for the last 8 years doing full stack development, which means working on websites, so front ends, and servers for those front ends, so back ends, as well as infrastructure on AWS largely. Um, for the last little over 3 weeks, I've been streaming my game development learning journey. And so I've built myself a little game playground using the Godot open source game engine, which is allowing me to test some of the features that I might want to build into a game in the future, as well as just learn more about Godot, GDScript, game development in general, and, just get better at software engineering at the same time. So as I do in every stream, I start out by showing what I've built so far. So we have a main menu here. You can continue your game, start a new game, load a game. You can load different save files, delete save files, etc. from here. If we start a new game, we find ourselves in a top-down view looking at a player who's controlled by mouse and keyboard. Wherever your mouse is pointing is where the player is looking. You can see the red triangle here. That's a debug value, as is the blue value that you see kind of in the bottom right here. That's just to help with testing. So the premise of the playground right now is that you are only able to see enemies, and there's only one enemy type, which is zombies, when you have your flashlight on. So when I turn my flashlight on, you can see the zombie. If you get too close, then it'll start following you. Recently, I've been working on UI and inventory. So I recently created a weapon inventory system that allows you to drag and drop weapons as well as ammo. And I'll show that in just a sec. So you can, shoot the zombies and they fall over. You can open up what I call the dual inventory, which allows you to drag and drop things from other inventories into yours, as well as vice versa. You can have stackable inventory items. So if you drag over the same inventory type, it'll stack. If you try to drag something that's not of the same item type, then it won't let you stack it. In my last stream, I added two things. One was sword knockback. So if we find ourselves here equipped with a sword, and at some point I need to add, what weapon you have equipped, because that'll make it a little bit easier for you sitting at home to tell what I'm doing. But if I swing my sword, you can see that there's a little bit of knockback with the enemy zombies here. If you can also see this little green rectangle, little green square, that is weapon delay. So when I attack, it turns red, and then once it turns green again, it means I can attack again. Same applies for any other weapon. And recently I added the delineation between ranged weapons and melee weapons, so those have different properties and are treated slightly differently. Excuse me. Yeah, I built a save system so you can save progress. I have to expand that. I've done a lot of work with inventory, weapon inventory since then without adding any of that to the save system. So that needs to, that'll be something I do relatively soon here in the future. I also have built, if I zoom out, this is just a debug thing that I can do. So I can zoom out and see, we can see the chunking system that I've built. So as you move left and right, there's a 3x3 grid that loads itself around the player and loads zombies in and out. As you can see over here, I'm not handling dead zombies in the chunking system, so they still appear there. But you can see actually zombies here as they move out of the chunks zone. And this one may tease us by just going vertically up and down. They actually unload and reload again. So yeah, that's kind of everything I've built. I've been streaming just to, like I said, show off. Not show off, but just walk everyone through my game development journey, and hopefully, answer questions and just have fun. So I don't think I'm going to do a super long stream today. I had quite the day, quite a full day. It's, getting into the later hours of the evening where I am. And so I added the knockback and the UI element for weapon delay last stream. This stream, I want to add a sixth sense. So when a zombie gets near you, I want there to be some UI indication, whether that's, a little trigger next to the player, similar to this green button here, or green square here when you shoot for weapon delay, something along those lines that basically says there's a zombie near you. Because if I turn off the debug values here, so if I go to debug, turn off visible collision shapes, and play the game again, you're completely blind. You can only see when something's coming at you when you have your flashlight turned on and you're actually looking in the right direction. So one of the downs, I think it's a cool mechanic, but one of the downsides is that you kind of have to keep spinning around to see who's coming at you and where they're coming at you, because there's no sound in the game yet. So there needs to be a way for it crashed. I don't know what happened there. That's weird. There needs to be a way for the player with no sound right now to be able to tell when a zombie's coming close. And so I'm going to add a little debug value that does that. It should be relatively straightforward. After that, we might work on some of the save system stuff that I've been talking about. But yeah, let's get started. All right, so there are probably a few ways I can implement this, but I think the simplest way is going to be to add a new zone to the player. So like an area 2D child to the player that looks for, right now the only enemy type is zombie. So that basically looks for zombies when a zombie enters the collision zone. Then we want to add a UI element. And once there are no more zombies in the collision zone, we want to remove that UI element. And again, that'll just help us and you know kind of when something bad is going to happen in the game. Or when you're in danger, I should say. Hey, Faison. Yeah, I'm trying to do my best here. How's your day been? Or morning or afternoon? I don't, wherever you are in the world. Okay, so we have a world collision area. We have the collision for when a zombie hits the player, as well as when they come in contact with the flashlight node. So we want to add a new, and I believe it's an area 2D, and then a child, collision polygon 2D. So we'll add a new area 2D child. Excuse me, which we will call, let's just call it Sixth Sense for now. And we'll add a child node to this of collision shape 2D. Hey, Copy. I'm doing well. I had a busy day. Yesterday. Didn't know if I was going to stream today, but decided I'd hop on for, I don't know, at least an hour, probably. So just getting some more stuff done. I'm working on a feature where if a zombie gets too close to you, it pops up a UI element that basically says they're getting close. So it'll allow the player to have a better sense of when a zombie's around them, because the main mechanic of the game is you can only see them when you have your flashlight on. I'm also realizing at the end of my last stream, I said I was going to work on the stream delay between me talking and receiving messages in OBS, and I did not do that. So we're just going to have to deal with the 15 or 30 second delay that we've been having for the last, 21 streams. But I'll make a note to spend some time on that outside of the stream. All right, so let's get this collision shape set up here. We just want it to be a circle. Very simple. And let's expand it. We can mess around with some different radii here, but we'll start with this. we want it to live on the, let's see, if we go to collision, I think we want it to basically be the same collision mask as the enemy collision. So we want it to trigger when an enemy walks in, which is 3 on the mask. And we want to connect this to, let's see, I think body entered. Body entered and then possibly even body exited. So essentially when a zombie enters, we want to probably store a reference to that zombie, and then once it leaves we can dereference it. And also if we if the zombie dies, so if we kill the zombie, then we also want to dereference it / reduce the counter. So we might connect might have a connection to the zombie that basically says remove the zombie as a reference when the zombie dies, so that we can make the UI element go away. So if that didn't make sense, we'll just go ahead and start coding. We added a function here on 6th sense body entered. We will say if body is zombie. So we're checking to see if the node2d that we're receiving is of type zombie. Then we want to do a few things. Turn on the UI, or I guess trigger the UI element for 6th sense. We want to add zombie to trying to think if we want to just use an array or a dictionary. A dictionary is probably easier, and we can just key off of the node ID or even the zombie ID, because I think they have different IDs. So add it to 6th sense dictionary, and that might be it. So let's also connect the body exited. So here we want to do the opposite. So if body is zombie, we want to check if there are any zombies in the 6th sense dictionary. If yes, then we want to remove, well, I guess either way, we want to remove zombie. So if yes, we remove, no, we don't remove, we do nothing. And if no, we remove UI element for 6th sense. Excuse me. Okay. So let's add a new value to our player, which is called 6th sense. We'll make it a dictionary. So when a zombie enters, we want to trigger the element UI element for 6th sense, which we'll get to in a second. Otherwise, we want to say sixth sense dot there's no I guess there's no set, so I do body dot get. Do I have a zombie ID here? Yes, I do have a zombie ID. And am I... Oh, get unique ID as self.zombie ID. Am I using this anywhere? I am. Okay, I'm just going to leave it as is. I could change it to a getter setter, but I'm not going to do that right now. Hold on, I have too many files open here. Okay. So body.get unique ID equals body. The important about the game is that when a zombie appears and your soldier's not seeing or dealing with other zombies, then a pop-up or alert should be... Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna use like a UI element. Kind of like a I don't know if you've played like Pokemon or other games like that, but I guess anything like the startled animation where it's like squiggly lines around like a character's head. That's kind of what I'm thinking of doing when a zombie gets close. But I'll probably make the UI element simpler just so it's easy to implement for now. Okay, so we add the body there, and we will do the opposite here. So we'll say sixth sense. So if sixth sense dot get body dot get unique ID. So that's saying if this exists. So if it doesn't equal null, we will say sixth sense dot or sixth sense of body dot get. Why do I keep doing that? Get unique ID equals null. And then if, and I should be doing self for all of this. I was coding in JavaScript, or yeah, JavaScript earlier today, so it's always fun going back and forth between languages, even in the same day. If self.sixthsense.size equals 0, then we want to remove UI element for sixth sense. So we remove the zombie. We check if any zombies are in the sixth sense dictionary. Okay, so let's give this a whirl. We'll say print. There's a zombie coming. And we're safe. Okay, so let's give this a try in our game. So we should have seen a trigger there. And we should have seen an untrigger. And then another trigger and an untrigger. So let's exit. There's a zombie coming. Okay, so I think it's a little closer than I'm even expecting here. So I'm going to just expand it a teeny bit. Let's try it again. Oh, and I also need to connect it for when the zombie dies. There's a zombie coming. Okay, it doesn't seem like we're triggering this. So this may not be working as intended. Or there was another zombie that... No, let's just print body entered. So if it's not null, set it to null. And then if size is 0, we're safe. Okay. So we should have had it trigger a few times there, or a couple times. We should be safe. There's a zombie coming, body entered, and then nothing. So... Oh, body exited. So, maybe it's not... Why doesn't it think it's a zombie? Body dot... Is there a way to print the type? Let's see. GD scripts print type of node. I don't want to check a node's type. I just want to print the type. Okay. Let's just print out the body and see what happens here. It's also possible we're having an issue because the zombie might be starting in our zone. So we could be seeing an issue there. Body exited. Print body. Body exited. Why is this? Oh, I didn't save. Cool. Character body 2D. Okay, so it's possible 6sense.size isn't 0 because a key is set even if it's set to null. That's actually entries, empty dictionaries always return 0. C also is empty. So maybe we need to do more than setting this to null. Let's see. Self dot, is there delete or sorry, 6sense dot clear is probably what we want actually. Sense dot clear. Let's see what the function clears. Oh no, that's removing all entries. Self the 6sense dot erase. That's probably what we're looking for. Yes. Body dot get unique ID. Great. So I think this should work now. There's a zombie coming. We're safe. Great. Okay, so that's working as intended. So we're good here. Now we do need to add a signal to our zombie. There already is one called zombie killed. Is there a way to... I think this shouldn't break anything. I don't know where this signal is being used. So I'm gonna try adding the ID of the zombie, which I think is a string. Yes. How many languages do I know? Like JavaScript, etc. I mean, if you count JavaScript as being also TypeScript and Node, then that's one. I've professionally spent about a year doing Golang, so I wouldn't call myself an expert by any means, but I could, you know, write some Go code. Two, if you can consider me knowing GDScript as another one, then three, and then I don't really consider HTML, CSS to be code, but I also, you know, obviously need to do that for front-end development. That kind of goes hand in hand with JavaScript. And then I know some Terraform, which is a kind of YAML-ish language that HashiCorp has built for like infrastructure management. And so I do some work in that as well. So I don't, like 4 or 5, I'd say. Most of the time I'm using JavaScript or TypeScript really. But you know, when I'm streaming, obviously doing GDScript. Okay, so we're going to emit the ID of the zombie. Do I know React? Yes. That's what I do most of my front-end development in. I wouldn't really say it's a language though. It's just a JavaScript framework for the front end. So there are certain features and elements that you just need to kind of understand, but they're not like new language features outside of what's already available with JavaScript, TypeScript. All right, let's emit the zombie ID. And we will connect here. So we'll say body.connect zombie killed. And we'll say we need a new function, I believe. There's nothing about zombies being killed here. Yeah. So we'll say function on zombie killed. And we'll get an ID. This can return void. So we can connect it to self.on zombie killed. And we will say if self.sixthsense.get ID does not equal null, then we basically want to erase. We essentially want to do exactly what we're doing with on sixth sense body exited. And if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be exactly the same thing. Okay, so let's add another function called handle zombie handle erasing zombie, and we'll pass in a ID, which is a string, return void, and it's basically going to be this. you're learning web dev, so can you please give some advice or some recommendations or advice on what you should learn and what you shouldn't? I mean, I think React is a great place, a great thing to know. Just having a good understanding of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in general, you can do pretty much any web development. Most jobs don't require prior knowledge of frameworks. So usually if you don't know React, but you have at least a decent sense of how web dev works, that's usually fine. It's obviously nice to know React because it's a very useful framework for web development. So I'd say, React tutorials, and in general, just getting better with JavaScript and HTML and CSS. The nice thing about JavaScript is you can use it both on the front end and back end. So a lot of what you learn on the front end will help you with back end work. So, eventually moving into like full stack becomes easier. I started my career doing back end development, and then in my first bigger job, I started doing some front end work and then found that I really liked it. And so that's what I've tried to do more since then, but it doesn't always work out that way. All right, so we have this function, handle erasing zombie, passing in an ID. So we want it to clear. So we'll call this here, self.handle erasing zombie, pass an ID. So that should work. It'll remove the UI element when there are no more in the 6th Sense dictionary. And then we can do the same thing here. Just call self.on handle, or what is it called, handle erasing zombie, and pass in body dot get unique ID. Okay, so assuming that all works, we need to add a UI element for the 6th Sense. I have this green rectangle here for weapon delay. So let's add maybe add a circle. And it'll only be visible when there's a zombie in this radius. So we can do add another color rectangle, and we'll call this 6th Sense. Oh, 6th Sense animation, I guess. And let's place it there-ish. And we want it to be a circle, not a square. So we don't want color rectangle. We want color... maybe you can't do a circle. Is there like a polygon? I mean, we could do a polygon 2D, but I guess a square is fine. It's not a big deal. Let's actually make it exactly the same size, so as weapon delay animation. So let's rename this to 6th Sense animation. And we'll put it here, and we want them we want it to be yellow. Whoops. And we want visibility to be off. It's time to college. See ya. Thanks for hopping on, Faison. I appreciate it. Hope you had a good time. Good luck with school and everything. Okay. So we're hiding 6th Sense animation. We need to access it via the player here. So we'll say on ready var 6th Sense animation equals 6th Sense animation. And when the body enters, we'll say 6th Sense animation dot visible equals true. Hey David, how's it going? How's your day been? Okay, so we'll set it to visible in that case, and visible is false in this other case. I think that might be all we need to do. Yes, I think so. Okay. Great. And that actually works as we were expecting. So there's no yellow rectangle here, but as the zombie gets in the area, we can see, okay, there's a little bit of danger. So you need to move away or fight the zombie or whatever you're going to do. And the zombie dies and that trigger goes away. So that's as expected. Let's go find some more zombies. Okay, so now we have the case where there are 2 zombies in the zone. Let's give ourselves some more ammo here. So one of them dies and it's still visible. The other one dies and it's not visible. And then another one enters. Cool, so this is working exactly as we were hoping it would. And one thing I don't know that I've ever mentioned about the game, I built a feature a while ago that when you shoot, it like makes a sound in the game. There's obviously no sound that happens with it because I haven't added sound to the game yet, but zombies from all around the area start chasing after the point at which you shot. So as you can see, there are several more zombies here after I shot. Yeah, cool. So that's a new 6th Sense feature. Thanks, David. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm really just building out a game dev playground so I can test out some different features and just get a better sense of game dev and GDScript and Godot overall. So I'm just kind of like coming up with new ideas I want to build. Recently I've been doing a lot of UI work and built an inventory system and everything. So it's been fun. I've had a good time. What did I add to pause manager? I removed a line. Okay. Added 6th Sense and UI element. All right. What's next on the docket? So I don't really want to start down the rabbit hole of adding inventory to the save system. Let's show what weapon you have equipped in the UI, which I think should also be relatively straightforward too. So if we come into our game UI node, oh, I think I'm doing everything programmatically now. Yeah, so we've got the player UI elements in the top left. We have the debug UI elements in the bottom right, which I realize you can't see because of my video. I suppose we can just add it to the player UI elements. It shouldn't be shouldn't be a big deal. So let's just copy and paste this player position, and we'll rename it to equipped weapon. So this is of type game UI label. If we come into the game UI logic here, we can see we're connecting signals to each of the functions that update the different UI elements. So first we'll want to create a new element that says update equipped weapon. And I think, no, I'll just leave it as is, it's fine. Update equipped weapon. We will say a weapon gets passed in, or return void. And let's get ourselves access to that UI element. So equipped weapon equals full UI container slash player UI elements. I think you ought to complete slash vbox container slash equipped weapon. And then we'll say equipped weapon dot set value text with weapon dot get item name. I think that should work. So now we'll need to add a signal, excuse me, to the player that is triggered when a weapon is equipped or unequipped. And we'll pass that weapon in. So we'll say weapon signals. Okay. Signal equip. So emit equip weapon. I'll pass in a weapon here. The other thing we need to also check for is if weapon is null. So if weapon does not equal null, we can do this perfectly fine. Otherwise, we want to set weapon text to an empty string. Actually, hold on one sec. Are we... Okay, I need to initialize this as well. So we want to set this to empty string. And then we also need a default name. So we're going to say equipped weapon text equals weapon. And then we'll want to initialize that here. So equipped, is that what I called it? Equipped weapon. Equipped weapon dot initialize. I'm surprised that's not working, but equipped weapon text. Okay, I'm just surprised the autocomplete didn't work there. Great, this should all work. We have the signal emit equip weapon, so let's connect that from the player to our equip weapon function. Emit equip weapon self dot update equipped weapon. So that should work. And now we need to actually emit this signal when we equip a weapon. And we have a function for equipping a weapon. So when it's this logic maybe, oh, I think actually, worry about that later. Okay, so when a weapon is equipped, if the weapon is not null, we say emit self dot emit equip weapon with weapon. Sorry, dot emit with the weapon. Otherwise, we say self dot emit equip weapon dot emit with null. So that should work. Hey, Mr. Shader. How's it going? Yeah, it has been a while. I didn't stream yesterday. I streamed the day before. But my streaming schedule is all over the place. It's just kind of when I, have the energy and feel like it. Even though I've been trying to stream every day, it's, sometimes midday, sometimes later in the evening, like tonight. And it also varies in the amount of time. How have you been? What have you been up to? I can't remember the last time you were on the stream, but I think it's been a little bit. I should also walk you through some of the new stuff I've built since you've last been here. Okay, so we've connected that. I think everything we've done so far should just work. You doing fine? What about you? How's the game going? It's going well. It's going well. Recently, let me just walk you through some stuff I've built. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know who's joined when, and if you don't talk, then it's hard to know. Yeah, so I've added so if I was doing the knife logic recently, like the sword thing, I added weapon cooldown and knockback to the sword. So you can see here, you can push back zombies as they get close, as well as do damage. I added a weapon delay. So this green icon here is green when you can shoot and then red when you can't. And what was the last thing? Oh, I just added a sixth sense. So this yellow icon, I think the game is going to crash because I died. I still haven't fixed the death state, but there's a yellow rectangle here that appears when a zombie is within a certain distance of you, because right now I don't have, like, the premise of the game is that you can only see zombies when you have your flashlight on. But if testing that makes it difficult, and if I don't want to have all the debug values on, then there needs to be a way to know when something's around you. I should probably add a direction, like directionality to that too, but I can do that later. But yeah, just it's a helpful visual to see oh, there's danger nearby. So that's what I just added. And what I'm currently adding is just a way to see which item you have equipped without having to go into your inventory. So you can see rifle shows up there now. If I unequip it, it disappears, and then sword shows up if I add that. So yeah, you caught me right when I was finishing up that feature. And next, I think I actually will add the directionality to the danger. So maybe it'll point to where the zombie's coming from, or point to the nearest zombie or something. That'll actually probably work decently well. Okay, so let's add all this. Yeah, it's coming along. Again, it's more of a game feature playground and just testing out stuff, but I feel like it's, day by day, adding one or two more things, and suddenly you've got a lot of new features that have been added, and you've learned a thing or two. So I definitely can't say I'm upset about the progress I've made. Added weapon, equipped weapon, UI element. All right, so I just said I'm gonna add directionality to the Sixth Sense animation. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay, let's add directionality here. So not only do we need to make it visible, we need to set the position to be of, let's just start out with the most recent, actually, hold on. No, we can, this should be an easy calculation that we can do in physics process. So let's add a function called find, find closest zombie for 6th sense. It'll return void. Actually, let's just say handle closest zombie for 6th sense, because it'll find the zombie and then it'll move the 6th sense animation node. So we need to iterate through. So we'll say zombie equals null. Actually, if self.6th sense.size equals 0, we can just return, so we don't need to do anything. And we'll say if for key in, I think this is how you do it, 6th sense.keys. Honestly, we can probably do for value in self.6th sense.values. If zombie is null, we can just set the zombie to that value. Otherwise, we should check to see if the distance to this new zombie is closer than the one we have stored in the zombie value here. So let's actually call this closest zombie, so it's obvious. Closest zombie. If let's see, how do we do distance to player? I think we're doing that somewhere. I feel like we're doing it in zombie, or do we have, oh yeah, we have distance, calculate distance to player. Oh, that's actually a function on the zombie. Interesting. So it's just distance to. Okay, self dot global position dot distance to, and then so if self dot global position dot distance to value dot global position is less than self dot global position dot distance to closest zombie, then we'll say closest zombie equals value. Why are you yelling? Invalid argument for distance to, oh, sorry, closest zombie dot global position. There we go. So now we'll get our closest zombie here. And we'll say if closest zombie, 6th sense animation dot global position. Let's try putting it halfway between the zombie and the player. Let's see if that works. So 6 cents animation dot global position equals self dot global position dot distance to value dot global position, and we'll divide that by 2 so it's halfway, and we'll add that to self dot global position. And I'm realizing actually that's not value, it should be closest zombie and float and vector 2. Oh, is distance to float. Ah. That's not gonna work. Then I think we don't use distance to, we use the closest zombie's global position. So we say, okay, self.global position plus the closest zombie global position minus self.global position divided by 2. I think that might be what we want. And then we need to call this, we don't need to necessarily call it on every frame, but we will just start out by calling it on every frame. Actually, we'll say handle 6th sense. So if self.6cents.size equals 0. Hey, Faison, that was quick. Did you finish college? If self.6cents.size is 0, we say self.handle closest zombie for 6 cents. So Faison, what we added since you left, I can't remember. We got the 6 cents thing working. We got a UI element for which weapon is equipped. And now we're adding, we're updating the 6 cents so that it places itself halfway between the player and the zombie, just to give you some directionality to know where the zombie's coming from. So just coded it up and gonna give it a try. It's probably not gonna work first try because, you know, what usually does. No zombies. Hello. There we go. Okay, so that's not working. You just got on well, that's why. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, so the global position of the 6 cents animation is not working. So maybe we have a bug in... sorry, if it equals 0. If it's greater than, oops, greater than 0, let's give this another try. Let's actually start a new game because this... Okay, yeah, look at that. So we can kind of tell, wow, I'm amazed that worked. It's a rare that you just get something to work like that on the first try. Hey Shadow, how's it going? How's your day been? Wow, I can't believe we got that working first try here. Great, so that tells you the distance to the closest zombie. So let's get some more zombies to come towards us. Oh yeah, okay, so we'll see this start to move around here. There we go, cool. Is what a recording? Olala. I'm not recording. Oh, I'm talking to myself. And you. I was just exclaiming that I was surprised that a feature I coded up for the first time, like hadn't tested a feature and just coded it up and was like, this probably isn't going to work how I was expecting it to, and it actually works exactly how I was expecting it to. I do think we want to expand this collision shape so that it's a little. Okay. So I pull up. Okay. Every time. Oh, no. So I stream to both YouTube and Twitch, and I get the messages read out to me in my headset anytime there's a message. So you're on Twitch. Someone from YouTube just said hello. And I try to pull up the. Let me see if I can make this bigger. I try to pull up the chat when someone says something, so that depending on which streaming platform you're on, you can see it, because I haven't spent the time to get like live chat working, or at least showing in stream. Maybe it's easy with this embed in stream thing here, but no, you're totally good. No worries. I know there was a way. Might worry about it later. I thought there was a way. Oh, appearance probably. Okay, I think I have it as big as I can get it. So maybe I can do plus, minus. No, that doesn't work. Okay, no worries. Yeah, got chat up here. All right, got this working. So you can see this yellow rectangle here is meant to signify that there's an active threat coming towards you, and where they're coming from, and kind of what their distance is from you, because there's no sound in the game. And the core mechanic of the game right now is that you can only see zombies when you have your flashlight over them. So yeah, we got that working. And it does go away when the zombies die, which is as expected. Sweet. Let's get that committed. Added directionality to 6 cents. Okay. Been going for about an hour, and it's about as long as I said I was gonna go for the evening. Add direction. I'm just adding notes to myself to 6 cents. Okay, let's do one more thing. Actually, do I want to do that one? Got that one working. Already done that. YouTube and Twitch should standardize the live chat protocol so you can see messages on either platform. That'd be pretty cool. I agree. That would be cool. For now, this solution works fine enough. But yeah, it would be nice for you guys if you could, chat with each other bidirectionally. Honestly, actually, does Twitch allow bots? Does Twitch allow bots? Or YouTube, actually? Does YouTube allow chat bots? Probably not, would be my guess. Conversational AI tool allows chat bots to post messages to stream. Because if you can add... Oh, the YouTube live streaming API allows you to add messages or polls to a live chat, transition the state of a live message, and delete a chat message. Internal owner or moderator of the live chat must authorize the API request. So it's possible, and maybe someone's done this, but it sounds like it's possible that you can pull messages from one service, write a bot that sends those messages to the other service as a bot for the live stream, and then you could actually get both working in the same like cross-pollination of messages. They would just come from me or the bot, but you could say, this user said blank. Verified bots can send up to 7,500 messages per 30 seconds. That's a lot of bots. I mean, a lot of messages, not a lot of bots. Okay. So if no one's built that yet, if you have a project, or if you need a project idea, go build that. Go allow someone to post a message in a stream on YouTube and tie it to their stream on Twitch and vice versa. Because I think that might be possible. There is. Do you know what it's called? Okay, well, I thought I had a brilliant idea. But all good ideas have already been done, right? Yeah, if you know what it's called, let me know. Because that'd be kind of cool. Okay, I don't know that there's anything that I'm going to be able to get to, like, in a relatively short manner here. So I think... You wanted to make it? I know. I imagine you could, charge a few dollars for it and maybe make some money if you don't consider your time. But I think in general here, I've built a couple features, added a few new things, streamed for a little over an hour, which is short, but I had a really long day and I'm pretty tired. I'm glad I was able to hop on today. So thanks everyone for hopping on, for commenting, for participating. Really appreciate it. I will be on again tomorrow. I should be on tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, see ya, Olala. Yeah, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. And we hit 24 hours on the timer.